Good morning, everybody. It's your girl Miracle Sims, and you are listening to God, Sex, and Love. Your daily dose of inspiration and juice. It is August the 24th, 2021, and today the topic is the Creator. Y'all is getting dangerously close to my birthday weekend getaway, man. I'm excited. I'm excited. Needless to say. um, what happened yesterday? Not too much. Not too much. Yep. Yesterday was a day, I get yesterday was a Monday, nothing too much to report outside the norm or whatever the case is. So I guess I'll just leave that at that. Um yeah, woke up this morning. I was up on time, but I don't know, I was a little distracted, I guess, or it took me a little while to get like, all right, it's time to get up, it's time to do the thing and all of that. So um the interesting thing is when I did my prayer meditation this morning, it gave this beautiful description of, basically God being an artist and, creating our life to be this beautiful work of art in spite of our flaws. And I thought that was again a beautiful um way to look at life, right? And to look at everything. And well, at one point it had me to kind of think about like my life in particular. And I'm not exactly sure because it was like, well, listen to what God is telling you and look at what He's showing you. And all right, I'm just gonna tell you. So basically, what I was seeing was something like a volcano, and I was like, okay, are you saying, I don't know what you're saying, whatever case is. So I did look that up as a topic today because I was like, well, maybe, and there is some Bible in references to volcanoes and whatnot, but it's more so in reference to God, like coming down and the volcano being an effect of His presence vibe, um, which already gave me a little bit of a perspective, but I don't know. I mean, well, I'm going to share with you guys. It led me to Isaiah 64, and I ended up reading the entire Isaiah 64. So you guys can read that as well if you would like. But eventually it made me think about uh well, the phrase the creator and God himself versus uh me, in particular. It had me more so thinking about that. So yeah, let me share with you guys what I found this morning and see what the Lord had to say. So one of the first verses I came across this morning was Revelations 4:11. It says, "Worthy are you, our Lord and God, to receive glory and honor and power, for you created all things, and by your will they existed and were created." Um, Obviously you're gonna see in the Go Deeper section a lot of Genesis, since that was the beginning, right? Especially I guess the beginning of the creation theory, as some people will say. Um, yeah, I mean, I think again my research into volcanoes and seeing that it was more so um, talking about God and His effect and all these different things. It just again um, put my focus more so on God, the Creator Himself, and so it's interesting, um, I guess if you are to believe, then it may be interesting to you as well that to know that all things are created by His will and were created by His will, um, and because of it, He is to receive glory, honor, and power. Um, just just interesting thought to share in the first verse that I came across this morning. One of the next verses I come across was Colossians 1:16. It says, "For by Him all things were created in heaven and on earth, visible and invisible, whether thrones or dominions or rulers or authorities. All things were created through him and for him. I mean, I know that's kind of deep, right? I mean, because you think about the good and the bad, you think about, what this entails. I mean, when it says all things, it means everything, right? And so, I don't know how people feel about that, and to know um, that even those things that we may see as quote unquote evil are still created, um, I guess, by him and for him. I don't know if y'all want to go deeper on that. I'm just, at least from my understanding now, this is just my little humble understanding of this here. But it did get me thinking again about, like, it said here the visible and invisible. So, I know there's all this talk about dimensions and, um, but hey, I mean, this isn't the first time that the Bible mentions things seen and unseen. So, um, I mean, obviously there's something happening. I don't know if it would be considered other realms or what, different, like I said, dimensions, or different, like, I know some people would call them to be planes, or I don't know. But hey, I mean, again, just something to keep in mind here, uh, that all things were created for him and by him, or it says through him and for him. So Romans 1:20, it says, for his invisible attributes, namely his eternal power and divine nature, have been clearly perceived ever since the creation of the world in the things that have been made, so they are without excuse. Ooh, that could be the Pope this morning, y'all. It could be the Pope because, as much as people try to deny God and his existence and all these different things, um, it does say in his word that, basically the truth is written on our hearts. I know I'm paraphrasing. Y'all got to find exactly the words that it says. But even this verse that I just shared here, it reiterates that fact, because it's saying here again that his invisible attributes uh, are clearly perceived since the creation of the world. Uh, in what? In all, wait, in the things that have been made. So I know that I would say that's probably one of the best examples that I've heard. Like, I know Pastor David Lynn would give that example as well, stating that, hey, when, I don't know if that would be an assumption or whatever the case is, but basically he would tell the people that, wanted to put that doubt, or bring up that doubt or whatever case is in conversations. He would say, hey, at the end of the day, all things that you see has been created by someone, right? Like, you see a building, you know that there was a builder. You see, you know, everything in that aspect. And so that alone proves the, I guess, validity of God, because we are all here as creations, um, and it goes all the way back. You could go back and go back and go back and say, well, created by this, created by that, created by this, all up until the point where you say, well, what's the first thing created? And that ultimately should, at least, I guess, if you're not being stubborn, lead you to God. So again, one of those things to think about. Again, I think just remembering who God is probably one of the things that, crossed my mind this morning. And with him being the creator and the creator of all things and whatnot, I mean, hopefully gives us a better perspective today of, maybe us and our lives. Because sometimes people may feel as if they either don't mean much, or that they don't. It's like they don't value themselves. Like, sometimes people don't value themselves, and so to know that, hey, you're beautifully and wonderfully made. To know that, God took the time to create you, the individual, and there's no one else like you. Even if you were a twin, you're still very unique. it's just one of those interesting things again to think about when it comes to life and all of us, you know. So I hope that encourages you and inspires you this morning to hear that. I hope that you all go deeper and take a look at some of the other verses centered around the Creator. Um, I mean, again, I feel like it's only giving us like a small snippet of who God is, but um, I mean, I guess it's something to at least acknowledge that, because sometimes people, again, uh, rather than even consider God or His will or anything, people tend to rather stand on the molehill of believing that it doesn't exist or whatever the case is. So again, I hope you all go deeper and that you're encouraged and inspired by that. But the Bible verse of today is Romans 1:16. It says, "For I am not ashamed of the gospel of Christ, for it is the power of God unto salvation to every one that believeth, to the Jew first and also to the Greek." Friends, I hope you all enjoyed this juice this morning. Thank you so much for listening to God, Sex, and Love, your daily dose of inspiration, the juice. I pray you guys can go forth and have a wonderful day, and I look forward to talking to you all tomorrow, with the Lord's will. Bye-bye. And there you have it, Facebook and YouTube. Thank you so much for listening and watching on today. Shout out to you. And I hope things are well over there in Australia. I hear so much is going on. So, I hope that all is well with you, bro. Thank you for taking that time to listen and respond to your girl. I feel like I'm gonna miss y'all, man. I feel like I'm gonna miss y'all. Between the 26th and the 30th. Like I said, it's that balance between knowing that I need a break, but at the same time, I guess building this routine or habit in my life that I've been doing for over a year now. Like I said, which is a huge blessing to have been doing this for so long and so consistently. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to get this little bit of a break and to see what's in store for this weekend, this birthday weekend, y'all. We here, man. We here, like just a day or so away. So I'm excited. I'm excited. Obviously, y'all see that your girl needs to do her mani and petty. I'm still just kind of trying to wait. I think people is convincing me to do this on the day of. So, like after I get my hair done that morning, I guess I'll come back home and do the mani-pedi situation. And then by the time I do that, maybe he'll be off from work. And we're going to get started with the birthday getaway things, dropping our little man off. And I guess, as they say, do what grown folks do. I'm just kidding, man. Man, yeah, man, I've been working on trying to edit the book and whatnot, and doing some things on my end. And I was reading it again, at least the first couple of chapters or whatever, or the first couple of pages, or I don't know. And it's interesting, man, to look back at myself back in my 20s. Like, very interesting to read. A lot of wisdom, I would say, in Younger Miracle. And that's the thing, like, I can't say that everything, like, even after I wrote that back in my 20s, I still, again, didn't necessarily do everything, quote unquote, right, or whatever the case is. And I would look back at that time in my life and I'd be like, man, I want to get back to that, feeling close to God, and, the things that I was doing on YouTube and stuff like that. I was kind of inspired by, again, Younger Miracle, and how, close I was to God at that time, and how I was building that relationship and whatnot. And so I guess in a way that's why this has become so important to me, and why I've enjoyed it so much, because I feel like I'm getting back to that, right, to the way I used to be, quote unquote. But obviously it's different as well, because it's 10 plus years later. Like, I'm in my 30s, I'm almost 35 now. a wife, a mom, and all these beautiful things. And so it's interesting. It's very interesting. But I'm very again excited to see what God is doing, and you know yeah, it's been a beautiful thing for me, man. And I appreciate those of you all again. I know I say it all the time. So hope you guys aren't tired of me saying it, but I just want to just show my appreciation to those of you all that support me in any way. Um, because I mean, I know y'all could be listening and watching somebody else, or something else, so what I hope at the end of the day that the things that I'm, I guess, learning and sharing or whatever the case is resonating with you. Um, and helping you build your own relationship with God to, do whatever again is His will for you. So, because like I said, this has been a complete blessing for me. This entire year, I know that sounds crazy. At the past couple of years, really, but 2021. I mean, I feel like it's been amazing because I've reached so many goals, so many things that have been on my heart and mind to do. I've been able to do, and yeah, this was the time I always thought about. Like this was what Miracle in her 20s dreamed about. This everything that's going on right now. So, um, which again makes me excited for what's to come because I do have other goals and ideas and dreams and things that I do believe that in due time and in due season will come to fruition as well. Prayerfully just as beautifully as this has. So thank you for being on the journey with me, y'all. And you know, I'm looking forward to see what the end gonna be, as they say. I mean, yeah, I know that there's so much going on in the world, and so I don't want to make light of that. But I mean, I'm not necessarily, at least not at the moment. I'm not worried. I'm not, afraid. I'm just gonna trust God that, regardless of whatever's going on, that He's gonna continue to, make a way for me and my family and friends and those of us that believe in all those things, and He's gonna take care of us as He's done and as He's doing, and that's where I'm at. But all right, y'all. Hope you guys have a great day. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for watching. Looking forward to talking to you all tomorrow if the Lord's will, and then maybe the day after that, and then break time. Okay. Bye.